What is up? Welcome back to another episode of Blindside Sports. My name is Emmett Douglas. You can follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at blindside_sports. You can follow me on Twitter at EmmettNoC04. And you can follow my co-host, Nick Wright, at @isNickWright on Twitter. No, it isn't the Kansas City Chiefs fan, Nick Wright. He's a Chargers fan.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, oh man. I think any of us, unless Chiefs or Eagles fans, they can't be too mad about that. But I think most of us would want to be a Chiefs fan right now. But anyways,
I don't know.
I mean, Nick Wright, welcome back to Blindside Sports, man. I mean, we have
Thank you. It's been a minute.
We have a jam-packed episode. I mean, we got Super Bowl stuff to get into. We have NBA. The NBA was broken last week. I swear, man. We had LeBron. Or no, let's go in order from that Sunday. Kyrie Irving got traded the day of the Pro Bowl over to Dallas. 2 days later, LeBron James breaks the all-time scoring record, which is Kareem's record. And then the day after that, freaking Kevin Durant gets sent over to the Phoenix Suns. So, I mean, the NBA has been broken. This is a great time of year for sports. I know we always say this, but NBA is starting to heat up. We got March Madness. I mean, if you're a degenerate gambler or you like college basketball, that's a cool time for you. And then the baseball, pitchers and catchers are reporting. So it's kind of a busy time of the year, plus the NFL offseason. But Nick, why don't we lead with the Super Bowl here, as this was a very good game.
All-timer.
Oh yeah, it wasn't. Didn't really disappoint me. If it disappointed you, I mean, you're a hater. Nick, what were your reactions to this game? I mean, what were your takeaways? What was the the Eagles defense got worked by Mahomes. But anyways, what were your takeaways?
Right off what you said, I mean, the Eagles were a top 2 defense in the league, arguably the best. And Mahomes, in the second half, he was stellar, unbelievable. But I mean, Jalen, my first takeaway is this. First of all, Jalen Hurts should be the MVP of that Super Bowl. I don't care if the Chiefs won about that. He was the best player on the field that night, despite that weird fumble that he had that went for a scoop and score. But Jalen Hurts showed that he is worth the contract that he is going to get paid. The Eagles will pay him. I have no qualms about that. But I mean, I had reservations about Jalen Hurts because of how bad he was last year in the playoffs. And this whole season, even though he had literally everything around him was perfect. I mean, he had the best guys in every corner of his team, but he really showed that he is the guy for he blew me away in the Super Bowl, the biggest stage there. He had 374 total yards, 304 passing, 74 rushing. Numbers might have got skewed there a little bit, but you get what I mean. He literally just he should have won the Super Bowl. He should have a Super Bowl ring on his finger right now for how he performed and how well he played. It is crazy to me. Well, not really, because the way the Chargers blew that game against Jacksonville because their defense sucked. I mean, how the Eagles' defense, I get it's Mahomes, I get it's the Chiefs, but they just did not show up. I mean, they averaged 4 sacks a game in the regular season, and they did not sack
Mahomes once.
Not even close, and it was a gimpy Mahomes. He had that one. He got that one tackle that made everyone gasp, and I held my breath. I mean, I don't want Mahomes to get hurt in the Super Bowl, but I thought when he got that one ankle tackle, which was not dirty in any kind of way, I was like, oh my God, like that ankle sprain's back. Oh no, I hate this. So my takeaway is that the Eagles defense just imploded, and it's crazy. And their defensive coordinator is now the coach of the Arizona Cardinals. We'll see how that goes.
Oh yeah.
But, my takeaway is that I'm just mad that, obviously as a Charger fan, I was rooting for the Eagles.
Yep.
I had money on the Chiefs, which, got me a few shekels there because I knew the Chiefs were going to win. But still, the Eagles really should. I mean, Jalen Hurts put up an all-time quarterback performance in the Super Bowl, and that great defense that helped 50% lead the team all year, just let them down. And it sucks for Jalen Hurts. That was my biggest takeaway.
It really does. I mean, Jalen Hurts, he showed everybody. I mean, I get he lost, but if you're still doubting Jalen Hurts, then there's something there. I mean, Jalen Hurts, he did everything he was supposed to do and more. I did not expect him to have that good of a game. I thought it was going to be kind of more of the running backs kind of take over. Hurts has, but 304 passing yards in the Super Bowl.
Oh, those few bombs that he had where he just aired it out. I mean, we're not going to talk about the very last play of the game because that was weird. But anyway, he had 2 bombs that were just so I'm like, whoa, all right, he's arrived. He's here. I mean, he has been here. But
that first play of that first drive of the game already went down and scored a touchdown. I mean, he was there early. I mean, Jalen Hurts had there's no both these quarterbacks. You have to give all the credit in the world to. I mean, Patrick Mahomes comes in and wins that Chiefs game, and I get the Eagles defense collapsed, but Mahomes is great. I mean,
in the second half he was surgical. It was just he's just so good. I know Tom Brady has the rings, and it always bugged me that Aaron Rodgers, was compared to him when it shouldn't. It was the talent of Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady.
Yep.
The talent of Patrick Mahomes is so much better than Rodgers, and Patrick Mahomes' trajectory right now. Do I think he's going to get to 10 Super Bowls? Probably not, but I mean, his body of work in 5 years, God.
The accolades are definitely there. I mean, we were talking pre-show about this, and this kind of segues into it to where this is going to be, the 3 Super Bowls in 5 years. I believe they made the AFC Championship every year. They, in the
5 years.
5 years. Yeah.
5 straight.
Yep, and 2 Super Bowl wins, that the one being against the 49ers, and then the other one obviously being against the Eagles. The only time they lost in the Super Bowl in these past 5 years, the Mahomes era, if you will, was with against Tom Brady. So you could have argued they should have made it in that Patriots, when they played the Patriots in 2018 or 19, whatever year that was. But everything happens for a reason. I mean, this is gonna be right here. 5 AFC championships, 3 Super Bowls in 5 years. He's won 2 of them. This is, if anybody's gonna catch Tom Brady, and I'm gonna have confidence in saying that they're gonna catch Tom Brady as the greatest quarterback of all time, then it's Patrick Mahomes. I mean, barring some horrible injury or something weird happening, he's gonna be a force to reckon with for a very long time. And at this point, I mean, Andy Reid, there's a whole nother argument there. I mean, one of the best head coaches, I think, Andy Reid. I mean, this Chiefs team is crazy. I mean, last year, Nick, I was a doubter because after Tyreek Hill got sent over to Miami, I was saying this to Big Ben. I was like, no way. Teams they're going to find a way to stop, Travis Kelce, which no one can stop that dude. Travis Kelce is freaking electric.
And by the way, he's the best tight end of all time. I'm over it. He is the best tight end of all time.
I mean, I can't even disagree with that. The dude is crazy. I mean, it was so much easier said than done. I remember
By the way, just real quick, he's super annoying. He was during his parade earlier.
Oh yeah.
He said, I mean, he annoys me. By the way, I can't stand him. He's annoying as hell. He annoys the absolute hell out of me. He said, people doubted us. People didn't have us going to the playoffs. Who said that the Chiefs weren't going to the playoffs? I want to know. But anyway, I digress there.
I mean, people were saying that due to that division, though. I mean, I definitely saw a couple of those takes. I don't even remember from who because I kind of forgot about him.
Yeah, it's lame.
But there were some of those takes. I'll give that to Travis, and I understand the point. I mean, of why he's annoying. He kind of is annoying, but also I like the energy and I like the storyline too of the Kelce brothers in the Super Bowl. Absolutely. I thought that was really cool. I mean, all the TikToks and all that of them going back and forth, and then what son is a favorite, asking that to their mom. It was a great storyline. But yeah, Travis Kelce, he's a little much sometimes. I mean, despite his all-time tight end stats, the dude's a little out there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And yeah, seeing his mom, as a parent of 2 all-time NFL players, the parents of the Mannings and other the Bosas, how do you deal with 2 of your sons on opposing teams in the Super Bowl? That seems impossible to handle. And it's cool. I mean, I don't like either of them, to be honest with you, but seeing that the whole family thing. It really was cool to see. And Travis Kelce, just I saw this whole thing with his mom. It's a cool thing. I can't be a hater, and it was really cool to see.
Yeah, it was. And quickly, and this just came to my mind. And Nick, this is one of our friends. I don't know if you've seen on Twitter, if you've heard anything. So I just want to give a shout out to this guy. Have you heard what happened with Real John?
No.
On Twitter? He is currently recovering from a stroke. So I just want to say, stroke, brain bleed, all of that. Shout out to him,
Real John. I know exactly.
Real John G.
I know. I haven't talked. I mean, yeah, I used to DM that with that guy years ago. I haven't talked to the guy in years, but
every time he's a big fan of our show, and every time me and you go live, he's always there.
I remember. Man, that guy used to DM me a lot when I was on the board. Like, that was a good dude. So that's good to hear.
Yeah, he's and I think there. I'll retweet it. I think there was a tweet asking for help. I don't know the specifics, so check my profile. If I can find that after the show, I'll retweet it. And yeah, so just shout out to John. He big fan of the show. Always cool to me and Nick. Had to get that out there. And if you're a Mauer Militia member, go spread the word. He's back on Twitter, so if you want to send him a message, you can. I don't know when he'll respond to that. I haven't. I texted him last week. That's when he told me it all. But anyways, on to another topic here. Why don't we go over to the NBA? And as I was saying at the beginning of the show, we'll come back to quarterback talk here in a couple minutes. But Emmett Douglas, Nick Wright. Why don't we go over to the NBA, which was broken last week? I mean, this is the most storylines the NBA's had in a while. I really don't know where to start.
Unbelievable trade deadline.
Why don't we start with, I feel like out of respect, we have to start with LeBron James breaking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's scoring record. I mean, yeah, the Lakers still lost to the Thunder. I mean,
I got crucified. You go ahead. I'll get into it.
I agree. I think I know where you're going with this. I mean, it's embarrassing they lost that game. I was talking to Justin Cooper, producer for Ben Mauer, and he said the same thing. I mean, it's cool, but we lost. I mean, the Lakers should not have lost that game.
I don't care if they lost that game. Are you kidding me? Oh no, and me and Coop got into it too privately. I don't care if they lost that freaking game. Are you kidding me? We are seeing. By the way, maybe I'm not young, but I'm not too old. He is the greatest basketball player of all time. Kobe is my personal all-time favorite athlete ever. LeBron James, I am just happy. And so many Laker fans, like I'd say more than half, just hate this opinion. But I am so happy that LeBron James, the greatest basketball player that I've ever seen, and I think who's ever touched a basketball, is in a Laker jersey. And he beat Kareem's record in a Lakers jersey. I love it.
That is pretty cool.
I'm proud of it.
That is cool.
And I could care less that they lost the game in February or January. February. That I should say. Like I don't
hear you.
There's plenty of time to make up to get into the playoffs, and they're not going to make the playoffs. They'll get to the play-in.
Yeah.
But
and that's what we said at the start of the year too.
I just want to say, like, I am proud that LeBron James in a Lakers jersey broke the record.
There you go. I mean that's a fair opinion to have, and I mean we can agree to disagree. I think they should have won that for LeBron. I mean against the Oklahoma City Thunder too, and the Thunder
are ahead of the Lakers. It's not like they're a scrub team.
I know, but the Thunder. I mean, come on, you're LeBron James. I mean the Lakers. They speaking of trade deadlines, the Lakers. How do you feel about those moves? The D'Lo move, and
I mean, it pains me to say it because he is my favorite player, not in a Laker jersey. I've always loved Russell Westbrook forever and ever and ever, and he was such a disaster in the Lakers, so it pains me to say it. But I mean, the move had to be done. It wasn't a fit with LeBron and AD. It never was. And never will be. And sadly, and I guess going back to D'Angelo Russell, that was, I mean, the whole drama from that guy years ago. Here's the thing: he can shoot. Put him on the team. He can shoot. He can shoot threes. Lakers need 3-point shooters. That's great.
Agreed.
The guy Rui, I'm not even gonna pronounce his last name. So I'll butcher it. Thank you. I mean, hey, we need some more big guys up in that freaking lineup. I mean. I'm good with the trade.
How you feel? Your boy Pat Bev's gone too.
Huh?
Pat Bev's gone too. I think that's the best part about the trade.
By the way, that was my favorite thing in the world to have that absolute scrub off that cancer off that Lakers team. He was my most hated NBA player ever, and he was on the Lakers and literally showed that how terrible he was. He is not a good NBA player. I've said that for a million years. Russell Westbrook had a famous quote years ago saying he doesn't do anything. He just runs around and pretends to play defense. And that's true. He is not a good NBA player. And he just talks a lot like he's some prophet, and it just annoys the hell out of me. And now he's going out saying like, "Oh, now I'm out of the locker room. There's a lot going on in that locker room.
The vibes weren't good." I mean, come on.
Yeah. He's the bad vibes. So
you were the one who was all excited at the beginning. Oh, I get to play with the Lakers. Oh, finally! And then you come say this, and you don't even make it. You don't even make it to the All-Star break. I mean, come on.
I mean, we many months ago, we did the biggest D-bag list of all time, and he made my list, and he just keeps proving it to be true and true and true. He is the worst. So my favorite move of the trade deadline is getting that bum scrub off the Lakers team, and they're better for it now. Well, I think so, but we'll see.
Yeah. Why don't we go over? So Kyrie Irving got traded over to the Dallas Mavericks,
who should be a Laker right now, but whatever. I mean, Joe Tsai was just so petty.
To be honest, I'm gonna get a lot. I'll probably get a lot of hate for this. I can't even blame the guy. I really can't.
Who?
Joe Tsai for not trading him to the team he wanted to go to.
Why? I don't know. Well, okay, I get you.
You know how much drama there was in Brooklyn because of Kyrie Irving?
I know what you mean. Like it wasn't so much that it's like, oh, F the Lakers. No, it was more F Kyrie. I'm not gonna send you to where you want to go. Because Kyrie, it was a headache for pretty much everywhere he goes. So I understand what you mean. I get it. As a Laker fan, I'm upset because he's not a Laker. But yeah, Joe Tsai saying F you to Kyrie, I get it.
There's still a possibility that he comes to LA next year. I mean, he's on that 1-year deal.
Oh, it's happening. Oh, that's happening.
I mean, he kind of hinted at it. He declining to talk about next year. I think he doesn't want to kind of say, "Oh, I'm going to the Lakers," and then kind of ruining everything with the Mavericks this season. I think he's actually playing this one smart. I'll give Kyrie credit for this one. I mean,
Emmett. I know it's only a few games, but just the other night, Luka dropped 36. Kyrie dropped like 32. Maybe it was vice versa. And they're 0-2. And did you see that play at the end of the game? No offense. There was a play at the end of the game where they were both going back. Like they were down by 3 with like a couple seconds left, and they kept passing back and forth to each other. And it was the most awkward thing I've ever seen. And Kyrie, they didn't even get a shot off. So here's why I'll say he's going to be a Laker, because I love Luka. I said right off the bat, this ain't gonna work. They traded away some of their best defenders. I mean, they weren't great at defense to begin with. They have 0 defense now. If they don't drop 120 a game, I don't think they're gonna. I mean, I just don't think this is gonna. I know right when it happened, I didn't think the Luka and Kyrie duo was gonna work. And I mean, I know it's only 0-2 right now since he's been there, but I don't know. I don't think it's gonna work. I mean,
I think they're gonna be a just on fire offensively, but you dropping 120. I mean, when today's NBA, I want to. It's like it doesn't seem like that much, man.
It's. It just.
So
in the playoffs, no one plays defense. No one plays defense anymore, and it just sucks.
I mean, in the playoffs, there's gonna be multiple 130 burgers, and if they get depending on matchup for the Mavericks, they could get torched defensively. I think Kyrie and Luka offensively, it's going to be fine. They're going to do their thing, but the saying in sports and the saying in that's kind of been a thing for a while now is defense wins championships. And I mean, it goes back to 2 days ago. I mean, the Eagles defense wasn't really there, but their offense was there, and they lost. I mean, defense is a huge key in sports. I mean, you don't have that. I mean, the defense and offense, they kind of work together. If you have good defense, your offense is going to get better. So when they play some real teams in the playoffs, I think they're going to get challenged. I don't think it's going to work.
The only fortunate thing for them is that the Western Conference stinks. I mean, who the hell knows who's the best?
Which is really weird. It's always the East stinking.
I know the Denver Nuggets have the best record and stuff like that. Like they're not going to win an NBA championship. If Jokic wins his 3rd MVP in a row, I will lose my absolute freaking mind. but they're not going to win. They're not going to win I don't care what the record is. They're not going to win the championship. I'm still on the Warriors only 500 right now. They are just, I've told you this months ago, they're biding their time. They only care when the playoffs start. And then Curry and Clay are going to start heating up. Like, they don't care right now. And and they know that the Western Conference stinks. And who the hell knows who's the best team in the West right now?
I know, like on paper with Kate.
Well,
another guy on your douche list.
I mean, man, I mean that would be my pick. But again, I want to see it. I need to start seeing when KD is going to introduce to the team. Let's see it. But
yeah. I mean, yeah, because you're on paper, they look crazy.
I mean, with Chris Paul, you know what annoys me too? No one's talking about it. It was kind of a blip, but Chris Paul was almost traded at the deadline.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I feel like that was like an undercover story that no one's talking about. Is Chris Paul upset about that? I think he's a little bit. So, I mean, but anyway, if Chris Paul is Chris Paul, even at his age with KD and Devin Booker, I mean, that would be my pick to win the West.
I mean,
no problem. But I mean, I just want to see it unfold a little bit before I really go hard on it.
That's a fair point. And I think KD, I mean, this works in Chris Paul's favor. I mean, Chris Paul doesn't have to be that scorer anymore. All he has to do is set up Devin Booker and KD.
Sweet passes, yeah.
Yep, exactly. Do the CP3 dimes, and they're going to be fine. I mean, can KD stay healthy? Will Booker and KD actually work together? I think so. We haven't seen it yet. We'll have to wait and see, till after the All-Star break, as the last game's tomorrow until the All-Star break. We go on break till next Friday for NBA. So we have to wait another week. But at this point, Nick, you're right. I mean, the Suns are favored to do it. As much as you can hate on KD for being soft or whatever, they made a good move. And actually, now that I'm thinking of that, I think the Brooklyn Nets are one of the worst fails of big, of the big two, big threes in sports history. It's
not even close.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is absolutely. It was atrocious. And I don't remember the stat exactly, but the amount of full games that they all played together. I mean,
it was like 70 games for like years.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
I mean, 20. Yeah, he went to the Kyrie and KD teamed up in, I believe, 2019. Because he left the Warriors in 2019 after they lost to the Raptors. He was injured for the first part of that.
Yeah, and then they got Harden. That was a disaster.
That was the worst trade in history, I think. Oh my God. Man.
I don't know how that 3 didn't work out, but I mean, Kyrie had his own personal off the court stuff.
James Harden had his own personal stuff.
Yeah, too. And I mean, Harden just got fat and didn't care about it anymore. But I mean, I don't know, just how that didn't work. I don't know, but it didn't.
Nope. Why don't we dive back into some Super Bowl talk here? We got our NBA talk out of the way.
Real quick. I mean, before we go off NBA, I just want to say something about the Lakers. Anthony, there's something going on.
Agreed. Didn't he scrub his social media, right?
He deactivated his Instagram. And by the way, also when LeBron, the big thing that was telling last week, and even it peaked because I was watching that game intently when LeBron broke Kareem's record.
Yep.
When LeBron hit the shot, the only person sitting down was Anthony Davis. He was the only person sitting down.
Good eye by you right there. Wow.
And it was just like weird. And now it's like, Anthony Davis looks like he's not playing like as dominant. Remember in the first few months of the season, he was looking like the MVP.
Yeah.
And now it's like he regressed again. And now it's like, I mean, there's something going on. And with Patrick Beverley, of all people, saying there's something up with the locker room, I mean, here's what annoys me. Just real, Darvin, I'm going to say it. No one wants to say it. I don't know why. Darvin Ham is a bad coach. Like, am I crazy to say that? I mean, here's why. The Boston Celtics sat literally all of their starters last night, all of them. And they took the Bucks to overtime. So that's coaching. The Celtics, of course, they have everyone knows they have a deep bench and stuff like that. But they took the Bucks to overtime with their scrubs, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And it's coaching. Can we just say like Darvin? And by the way, now it's coming out. There's rumors that, I mean, and I've said this for months. Like Darvin Ham even had a quote saying like, "Hey, if I have a LeBron, I'm gonna ride him and ride him and ride him." LeBron has one of the most. He's 38 years old. Has one of the most
Highest
minutes in NBA. So
yeah,
now there's people saying that LeBron.
Nick, did I not say when I saw that report on Twitter? I saw the video of him saying that. Did I not say at the time? This is a whole. I get LeBron's your guy, but
yes, we talked about it.
Yeah.
Yes. And so now people are saying like maybe LeBron's doing an FU, being like, "Oh, I'm gonna rest because I'm tired." I mean, there's 7 games under 500. They have the Pelicans tonight, and I mean I haven't gotten an update yet, but LeBron is questionable. He's not. It's right before the All-Star break.
I think he's
not gonna play.
I think he actually did play. I thought I heard Brian Finley say that on Fox Sports Radio. I could have
earlier, like soon it like
4 or 5.
Huh. I mean,
okay. You can look it up because someone actually did tweet into the show here. I'll read it. ML Times on Twitter checks in. He says Golden State Philadelphia matchup will be the best thing for the Western Conference. AD isn't happy. Mo is in town to replace him. Great show so far. By the way, that was from ML Times on Twitter. Big Arnie and playing fans.
But yeah,
I mean, playing fans.
It's just. I mean, if he doesn't play tonight, and by the way, I don't think he should. I drive around in the morning a lot, and I listen to. I had to listen. I bounce back and forth between ESPN LA and 570.
Blowtorch and 570 LA Sports.
Yes, and it's just I keep hearing these hosts talk about the Lakers, and well, if they win this many games, they'll get the 6th seed. They're not going to sniff the 6th seed. They're not going to see it with a telescope. Stop. So in my opinion, LeBron, sit tonight and just have a run and make the play-in. And if everyone's healthy in the play-in, win that play-in game. And then with the West that's kind of weak, boom, let's go. But I don't want to hear about the 6th seed ever again for the rest of the season for the Lakers. It's not happening. It will never happen. Let's just and by the way, I'm not super confident about the play-in. Think about that. Like, you have to be really bad. If LeBron James, I think he's the best basketball player ever, but you cannot, when you have a Lakers uniform, you cannot miss the playoffs 2 years in a row. And that's the thing, it's not even the playoffs. It's 2 years in a row, the play-in, which was implemented a few years ago. Like, you can't miss even the play-in 2 years in a row in a Laker jersey. So, LeBron, rest tonight, just make a run after the All-Star break, and that's fine. Just you can't miss the play-in.
No, I mean you can. I mean you have to make the play-in for the Lakers, and they have nothing to lose to try. I mean they don't have a 1st-round pick waiting for them, so why not?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, the almighty Rob Pelinka hang on to those 2027, 2029. Who are we going to be around for 2029? I mean that's a whole other topic for another podcast. But just saying, like, who cares about those picks anyway?
Yeah, right. I mean. Yeah, it's I don't know. Like I think picks matter, but then again, with this 8, especially with all AD
5 years
not looking happy, I think AD is gonna kind of give him some. If this whole AD thing doesn't work and they have to trade him, or when's his contract up? Now that I think about it, but if they do trade him, they're getting some picks back. So,
I'm already expecting a KD, AD Kyrie swap in the summer, and we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
There you go. Why don't we dive back into the NFL real quick? I know we got to get out of here soon, but why don't we go over to some off-season predictions here, Nick? There's this off-season I think is going to be a crazy one. And I'll give you a couple predictions. I think Aaron Rodgers, he's not going to be a Green Bay Packer next year. Now that the Packers are opening to trading him.
Ooh, I can't wait to see where you think he's going to go. Where do you think he's going to go?
All right. It's obviously, the Packers said they're not trading him to an NFC team. So teams like the Commanders and the Saints and all, they're automatically out. So I at this point, I think it's either the Raiders or the Jets or the Dolphins. And most likely the Raiders. Yeah, I mean, you never, with the whole Tua stuff, maybe you trade for Aaron Rodgers and try and go for it for like a year and then let Tua's head get all like in its right space. I mean, let his brain like recover. So I think those are the top three. I just don't. Aaron Rodgers, New York Jet. I just can't see that.
Here's the thing. I
But-
would love. By the way, there is zero chance that happens. Aaron Rodgers under the New York media highlights.
Oh man,
There is zero chance that. I mean, I would love for it to happen. I would love it, but there is zero chance he wants that New York media scrutiny, which is the most brutal in America. No shot. He goes to the Jets.
Yeah, and we'll see what is a 4-day darkness retreat. We'll see what that does for him. I mean, will there be a decision on?
I just can't stand him.
Okay, and Nick, hold on. Did you? So I believe I heard him say on McAfee that it starts Friday and it's a 4-day retreat.
And so,
kind of interesting how he's going to be back for that Pat McAfee show on Tuesday.
Of course he is. By the way, it's all BS. By the way, is he a freak and like does all these drugs and stuff like that? Like whatever.
The ayahuasca got to his head, dude. He
is not. By the way,
he is.
I guarantee you. I want to see like literally somebody like have a document on it. He is not going into a room of darkness for 4 days. There is. That's like that's beyond torture for like normal people. You can't the human mind can't just sit in a room for 4 days without any light and just sitting there with your thoughts. That's
he's gonna no matter
that's
what
not happening.
I agree, and no matter what
he's gonna faking that. He's
gonna say he did
faking that.
I mean.
But anyway, can I just go since we're on Rodgers? And it's unfortunate because it's gonna just piss me off to no end. I think he will be on the Raiders.
Yeah, it's definitely though that's in my opinion they have the best odds at landing.
And by the way, why Aaron Rodgers wanted to go to a division at his age with Patrick Mahomes, Herbert, and Russell Wilson getting Sean. By the way, Russell Wilson getting Sean Payton really frightens me. I'm not gonna lie because I don't think Russell Wilson is just gonna like. Just is going to play like how he did last year.
I agree. Something tells me I mean, will he be like Seattle Russell? I don't know, but he's not going to be.
He ain't going to be the same.
He can't show up. He can't physically bring himself to play like that.
So I mean, but at the same time, maybe Rodgers wants to be like, hey, I'm still Aaron freaking Rodgers, and I'm going to go to the hardest division in football and challenge Mahomes, Herbert, Russell Wilson, Sean Payton. I mean, I can see it happening.
That was Russell Wilson's kind of thing last year too. I mean, probably in his head, he got to kind of choose that trade because he had the no trade clause out there in Seattle. So maybe that's kind of the thing. I mean, it kind of disappointed the AFC West did this year in terms of like how hype everyone was about it. I mean, I think the NFC East was a kind of more fun storyline division, at least But man, I don't know. Sean Payton, we know what he does, and I'm sure you're mad that he didn't wait it out another year for Brandon Staley to stink up the bed again.
Did I want to give up the draft capital and what he wants to get paid? Not really. But the fact that he wanted to coach, I mean, it's not a secret. I mean, it shouldn't be. He wanted to coach the Chargers. He wanted to coach Justin Herbert. And I think he's like, okay, the Chargers aren't going to give up what I want. All right, let me fix Russell Wilson and screw the Chargers over by going to the AFC West. I think that's exactly what happened. And, it kind of scares me. I'm not going to lie. It does. Because even though Justin Herbert had to will his team with broken ribs and still crawled them to the playoffs and the defense let him down after a 27-point lead. I mean, as a Charger fan, I'm not going to lie. After being a fan for over 20 years, I mean – That loss broke me. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, Emmett. I know you're way younger than me. That loss almost pretty much killed my soul. I don't have many expectations next year, especially if Rodgers joins the Raiders. I'm just gonna have to see what happens and not, because last year I was the most hyped last year going into the season for the Chargers ever. I think.
And you had every right to be. I mean, the moves that the Chargers were making and what they did in that offseason was great.
And in classic Chargers fashion, they broke our hearts. Keep
in mind,
it's so. I mean, for the rest of my life, and I feel bad for young Charger fans because I feel like here's my thing about LA and the Rams and the Chargers. Rams fans are old people. I feel like the younger crowd, it's like a little sexier. It's a little cooler to be a Charger fan because of Herbert. You know what I mean? They have better uniforms. They have better logos.
The only Rams fans I know are Ben Maller, John Ramos, and Kevin
Yeah,
Wire.
yeah,
The
yeah.
new
And they
update
think,
guy. Those are the only
and,
three I know.
and a
Kevin's
lot of
young,
media
but
people
Ben and
think
John are
that,
older.
a lot of media people think like it's like a Lakers Clipper situation. It's not. Trust me,
No,
there's
it's
not
different.
that many Rams fans. I promise
No.
you. So I mean, just going into, I've been a fan for so long, and I feel bad for these young fans because whenever the Chargers have a lead ever again for maybe the rest of history, you're never gonna feel good again, ever.
And you're gonna get everyone's gonna talk trash. Oh, you're gonna blow that lead? Are you gonna pull Jacksonville? Pull Jacksonville? I mean,
yep. No. I said it right when it happens. I mean, like Chargers will never get over 27-0. I mean, it'll never happen again.
Still, I mean, the Falcons. I mean, you still see memes about 28-3 to this day. I think I even saw one this morning. I mean, the Chargers are never
going to happen
that.
Unless they have to win a Super Bowl to get over that. It's as simple as
they have to win a Super Bowl, but it can't be in like 10 years. It has to be soon.
Well, I mean, yeah, it does, because I mean, I'm really curious to see, because the core. I mean, hey, Burrow, Herbert, Hurts, Lamar Jackson is overdue. I mean, I want the Chargers to sign Herbert right now. Do it right now, because I don't want to see Burrow get that huge contract, Hurts get that huge contract, which they deserve.
Yep.
And then I feel like Herbert. By the way, I hope this is true. I mean, I know. I feel like Herbert's going to be that guy to be like, okay, Burrow made that much. I mean, I'll take a little less to make the team better. I feel like he's that Brady guy. I feel like he's that Mahomes. I mean, Mahomes is going to be the 10th highest paid quarterback going into next year. Think about that. That's insane.
That's crazy.
So, I mean, I really hope and think Herbert is that kind of guy to where, like, I don't want to make that kind of bag in spite of my team. So we'll see. I just wish Telesco would do it right now. So I don't know.
Emmett Douglas alongside Nick Wright on Blindside Sports. Get me on Twitter, EmmettNosey04, Nick is Nick Wright. You talking about Joe Burrow, and I completely forgot about this till you brought up his name. Did you see that report that I'm completely not buying into this, that T. Higgins said that Joe Burrow doesn't want to get paid. He'll take less money just for the team.
I did. I could see that.
But I don't know. It's just something with all the, Joe Shiesty, he's a good quarterback. I like him as a player. He's cool. But I mean, you can't even blame these guys for asking for money, seeing as a guy like Deshaun Watson got like a huge contract. He didn't even play football.
This is, but that's the Browns organization. I don't want to put that as the Brow, because like that's
they set up the Brow. All right. I mean, Lamar, he's a good player, and this is my thing with paying running quarterbacks. You don't want to pay him long term because they're running quarterbacks. That ACL is in jeopardy any minute of play, and I hate to say that.
Yeah, no,
Jalen Hurts should get paid, but it's always a concern. It's nothing against the player, but I get they want their long term, but if you can get that short term, not like a 5-year deal, like less than that with some money, I mean, I think that's kind of what a team would settle for. But these players, they want to be locked up with their money. So it's going to be a very interesting offseason or next couple of years for quarterbacks getting paid, I think. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, the rumors are that Lamar is going to get franchise tagged by Baltimore, and he's making around $40 million. So will Lamar have his contract year next year and go get paid? I mean, there's so many questions for this offseason, man. And we have about a month to dive into the offseason before free agency starts. So we'll get into that more heavy in another show here. But man, the quarterback, the talent that the NFL has for quarterbacks, and with the talent coming out of this year's draft it's interesting, and it's really cool.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And the thing is too with Lamar Jackson, I mean, it's like, I get the restraint of what's your backup plan? Like Lamar won an MVP unanimously. I get that. And, he got hurt. So it kind of, detracts that a little bit. What else are they going to do? And one thing too, the Eagles have to, they are.
They're paying Jalen. I agree. They're paying.
Think about it. Think about the NFC.
And okay, hold on.
You gotta pay him. Who is the second best quarterback in the NFC? Dak Prescott? Sure, I guess. Who's the next best? No offense. Geno Smith is literally probably the third best quarterback in the NFC. The NFC is depleted of quarterback play. I mean, by the way, I'm calling it Derek Carr will probably go with the Saints or the Panthers. Okay, that's.
I think the issue with the Saints,
third best quarterback.
The issue with the Saints is their cap. They don't have a good cap situation. That's the one issue with the
That's
Saints.
fair enough. That's right. That's why I think. And by the way, I say the Carolina Panthers because that kind of goes off the field. That's Derek Carr is a big religious guy, and Carolina kind of lines up with that kind of thing.
Crowd.
So, the thing. That's the worst division in football. Carr better go in that division because that's the best for him. Because
could you see him going over to Tampa?
Tampa, yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah, I mean, it's a terrible division. There's
you got your guy in Mike Evans. You got your guy in Chris Godwin. You have receivers.
Tampa should. I mean, I think Derek Carr is at the very best a mediocre quarterback in the NFL throughout his career. When I hear Cowherd and other media guys talk like he's like a good quarterback. Like,
thank you.
It's ridiculous. 9 years, not one playoff win, one playoff appearance. By the way, I don't care if he got hurt. I don't care at all. He's been to one playoff game. In 9 years. I don't want to hear it. He is at best a mediocre quarterback in the NFL throughout his tenure.
Yeah. I mean, Josh McDaniels definitely broke him in Vegas. I mean, they should have stayed with Rich Versace. I think I'm in the minority.
100% agreed. 100% agreed. But if he goes to the NFC and in that division, I mean, hey,
here's another one.
To lose. So
will he go to Arizona and play for a 1-year deal while Kyler Murray's recovering from his knee injury?
No, I mean Arizona can't move off from. I'm
not saying move on. I'm saying 1-year deal.
Well, Kyler's not. Kyler should be back by the season starts, right? I mean,
no, they said it was at first it was October. Now it's November. So it seems like it's only getting worse. So that's why I feel like they kind of have to look into.
Well, the thing is, Derek Carr can kind of pick. I mean, here's the thing: it's the fact that if teams want him, and I mean, Derek Carr can pick where he wants to go, but it depends on who wants him. So, I mean, if Arizona's the one team that calls, which isn't crazy to say, because I don't think there's gonna be a lot of teams ringing up his phone. I mean, yeah, sure, why not? But
all right, I'll give you my options of where he's gonna go. It's New Orleans, but their salary cap is a little weird, so that kind of changes it. Carolina. I really don't buy the Commanders are into Sam Howell like that. I really don't. I could see them going after somebody. I could also see, I mean, the Jets are saying that Derek Carr is an upgrade over Zach Wilson. That's kind of been going around. But like you said, if you're Derek Carr, you want to go the AFC or the NFC. Pardon me.
Oh, by the way, I mean, there is no way Derek Carr can handle. I already said about Aaron Rodgers. Derek Carr ain't going to be under the New York headlights.
Oh,
like
no.
That. There's zero shot.
Yeah.
My bet is I like your Tampa thing, by the way, but I think he'll be a Panther.
All right. I think Carolina or Tampa. That I mean, we named 3 out of 4 teams in that division, and people are still thinking he could go to the Falcons. The Falcons are rumored.
Yeah, why not? I mean, that whole division would want him. They should at least, even though he's a mediocre. I mean, it's better than what they've had besides Tampa for a while.
Yeah, completely agree. And this has been a super fun show, but we got to get out of here. If you guys enjoyed this episode, be sure to leave a like. I
got 5 minutes. I got like 5 more minutes. So what else are we get into?
All right. So why don't we dive into this real quickly here because I don't want to dive into a sports story, but the Super Bowl spread. All right, Nick, if you're hosting a party or if you're going to a party for the Super Bowl, what do you want? What do you want for the food?
Oh, okay. First of all, I did go to a party and it was a great spread. Well, first of all, numero uno, you got to have an array of chips and dip. I'm talking you got chips you got sour cream and onion dip, you got bean dip, you got salsa,
queso.
You gotta queso. You gotta have that spread. That's table number 1. Then my go-to stuff for me, it's wings. Even though it's a little messy, gotta have the wings.
Oh yeah.
And then gotta have the wings. And then also I love me some nachos, even though it's a lot of people wouldn't like it, but I mean, a lot of people just come up. There was when I went to that party last week, there was a big plate. Like I'm talking like a dinner plate of 3 sizes with nachos that people just kind of grab, and it was incredible.
Oh man, yeah. So at nacho bars, and this is kind of beyond parties here. This are Super Bowl parties, but man, nacho bars is a very underrated, elite thing. My cousin for their wedding reception, they had a nacho bar, and this is a couple of years ago. It was, oh man, you can't go wrong with a nacho bar.
No.
I mean, if you don't like that stuff, you're kind of crazy.
And also, I'm all about. I mean, I make this, but it was at the party too. Like, I'm all about the like the mini hot dogs and the crescent roll things. That's always a good time.
Burgers,
So,
if you have someone who's willing to cook,
sliders, also sliders.
Yeah,
some sliders. Yeah, that's nachos, wings, sliders, dip. That's the big four.
Yep.
I think
there you go.
Perfect.
Mine is, this year my friend who was hosting kind of did, they did like burgers. So I brought some mac and cheese. There was chips. There was dip. All
can't
that
go bad with mac and cheese. All right.
Oh yeah. So but if I was hosting, and I had all the the power to determine the food, here's where I'm going. The first table, definitely the chips. You're completely right on that chips.
Oh, on the chip.
You don't even have to go Doritos. You go, and then the stuff with the
yeah, you gotta have an array. You gotta have Doritos, Lay's, Ruffles, maybe tortilla
scoops.
You gotta have the whole platter there.
Yep. And then for kind of the main courses, you gotta go wings. You can't go wrong with wings. All right.
And by the way, I mean, I'm not a snob, even though I don't think boneless wings are real wings, but still, I'm good with
like
the
boneless
chicken
wings.
Nuggets.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're fatter chicken nuggets. That's what I'll say. I'll give you that. They're just like chicken nuggets. Like they're
not wings.
I prefer boneless wings because I'm kind of lazy. But like,
no, me too. No, I have no problem with it. I just don't like when people say like, oh, these are real wings. Like, no, they're not. I mean, but I love me some boneless wings. Trust me. That's But it's all about the dips. You gotta have the dips.
Yep, the dips, and then this is one I did the Ethan Miller episode a while ago. Me and him were talking about this kind of same topic. He's a Philly guy, so the Eagles were kind of in play to make a run. Potato skins.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I had those,
but
like 3 years in a row. Like, I mean, I don't know how you could go wrong with that.
You can't.
For a football game, they're easy to eat.
I haven't had potato skins. Like, I haven't been to a TGI Fridays in a million years, but yeah, that's definitely top tier. 100%.
There you go. You guys heard it here. That was a Super Bowl spread. I mean, if you're if you're like that cool and you're watching the XFL and having an XFL party, you can take some advice from us. But
I mean, hey, USFL's coming up. I'm gonna be watching.
Oh yeah, I mean.
Oh, real quick. So wait, before we wrap up here, I got to bring up something before we wrap up after the snack debate. Do you got any more snacks?
But you do have to have an array of all different types of beverages. All right, adult, kid. You have to cater to everybody.
That goes without saying, but yes, absolutely.
Well, there's gonna be that one guy on Twitter in the chat that was like, well, "You guys didn't say anything about drinks."
Oh, I mean,
water, soda.
And by the way,
juice.
if you go to Super Bowl party and it should be if you go to a party and it's not BYOB, like you still gotta bring something to the party. You know what I mean?
You
shouldn't go to a
that
party
guy showing up
empty-handed.
mooching everyone else
like,
is.
Me and my wife went to a party and we brought a 6-pack just so we, just to be cordial. Just give her a 6er. But then we got hammered. So I mean, off their alcohol.
And then you won money.
You gotta be cordial. You gotta be formal.
There you go. And what were you gonna say after?
All right, all right. Before we get out of here, so it's a big talk now that Patrick Mahomes just won his last Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of talk about, is he now a top 5 quarterback ever?
These accolades, man. And I didn't have a straight answer for you when you asked me this, like in our pre-production meeting. I didn't have an answer at this time. It was in the back of my head, but these accolades, he's 27 years old. All right. Been in the league for been starting for 5 years. He's been in the league for 6 years. He's made 5 AFC championships,
in a row.
3 Super Bowls. Yeah, that's in a row. He's won 2 Super Bowls. Looked like a good quarterback in 2 of those 3 Super Bowls. The 1 Super Bowl he lost, I really don't know if I can blame him.
The GOAT. He ran to the GOAT, what are you going to do?
He had the GOAT, but the issue was the Chiefs, they lost a couple of their linemen in the playoffs due to like some knee injuries. And I believe he was injured as well during that. So, I don't want to like kind of poo-poo him too much for the Buccaneers one. But, yes, he is a top 5 quarterback.
Right now. If his career ended right now, he's top 5 of all time. I don't think it's debatable.
No, no one has done what Mahomes has done at his age gap. I mean, he's 27 years old.
He has a better trajectory than Brady. I mean, it's unbelievable. So I want to know, Can I give you my top 5 of all time at this point, and then you can maybe give me yours?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Thou who shall not be named, Acho, gave his top 5, which is fascinating. He has Brady, Montana, Peyton, Mahomes, and Dan Marino at 5. That's my favorite thing in the world that I've seen all day. Mr. Quarterback Wins guy has Marino, who's never won a Super Bowl, in his top 5. That's incredible to me. So, anyway, I said get out of the way. So, my top 5 of all time right now: Brady, Montana, Peyton, Elway. It used to be Brett Favre, and then it used to be Aaron Rodgers. I figured after it was all said and done, I'd have to kick out Brett Favre and put in Aaron Rodgers. Well, guess what? Now time to kick out Aaron Rodgers, and I have Mahomes at 5. That's my big 5. And by the way, by the time Mahomes is done, he will be number 2.
By the time he's done, I think he's going to be number 1, man. If he keeps this up,
well,
I think this is, and I said I'm confident he's going to pass. This is the guy that, and pray for. I don't think anyone will do this for a very long time.
Sorry. Okay, before you go on, I just got to interject and just say, let's say Mahomes ends his career with. Oh man, he's going to have more than. He's probably going to have at least 5. Let's just say he ends with 4 Super Bowls and made it to 7 of them. Like, is he above Brady with those kind of numbers?
That's hard.
By the way, with he'd break every single record quarterback wise.
He's breaking records. Yeah. Okay. Then probably. Yeah. All right.
I mean, so this is what I told you this like a year ago. It's gonna
hold on. You think he's making 4 more Super Bowls till by the time he's done?
I think that's the minimal. I think that's the absolute minimal.
That's fair. And the real question, will Mahomes have as long as a career as Brady? And that's a lot of it. I mean, Brady played for so long and was so good. As good as
Mahomes ends, no one is going to make 10 Super Bowls and win 7 again. I don't think that will ever happen again, as good as Mahomes is. But if he ends up winning 5 and makes it to like 8, I mean, I did this a year ago. It's going to end up being LeBron MJ. It's going to be that debate in like 7-8 years from now. It's going to happen. And it's going to be fascinating because if he breaks every single kind of record and, no one can look through a telescope eventually to break those records, I mean, it's going to be a debate and it's going to be a fun one.
Oh yeah. We know where Rob Parker's leaning on that side.
Don't. I mean, Rob Parker doesn't even think Brady's the best right now. I don't.
Did you see?
Rob Parker has him top 3 right now.
I love Rob. I really do. But
So do I.
One of the worst tweets I think I've seen this year was from Rob Parker the day Brady retired, saying how his cheating's inexcusable and he shouldn't make he wouldn't be in
the Hall of Fame at all. I know. Oh, trust me.
I can hear Chris Broussard. Tom Brady isn't a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Hey.
The cheating, Chris.
That's a great. That was a great impression, by the way.
But, I can't do Rob Parker, but I can do angry Rob Parker just fine.
Just to bring back the curtain a little bit. I love Rob, but a lot of guys have their script, they have their agenda, and you can't really move from that once you implemented it. Yeah. So it is what it is. I don't think Rob truly believes Tom Brady is a Hall of Famer, but
because the difference, Papa Bear Ryan, he Twitch streamer, worked for Arnie for years. He's a Brady hater. He's kind of the same way as Rob, but man,
Raider fans. It is what it is.
And then Rob G can if I were to ask Ryan right now if he thinks Brady's a Hall of Famer, he's probably saying no. I'll ask him next time he streams. I'll get back to you.
It's like, then see, when I hear about that, it's just like you're just like, you're so like moronic. Like you're a biased, moronic person.
And I think Rob G will admit Brady's a Hall of Famer.
I should say, I'll say moronic next, but I mean, you're biased and moronic. It's a twofer. I mean, what do you?
Yeah, double burger. I mean, yeah.
But to me, right now, right here, Tom Brady is the best football player of all time. Forget about quarterback. He's the best football player of all time, and maybe Mahomes can dethrone that in about 7-8 years. We'll see.
I don't know. For football, I feel like football player and quarterback. That's a whole different comparison. I don't think any other position besides a quarterback is passing Brady.
No,
Like, there's no way a defensive end or like a receiver is gonna be like.
well, I mean,
Brady.
to me, like, okay, I mean, I was too young for this too, even for you. I mean, Lawrence Taylor was the most feared defensive player for decades. I mean,
yeah,
if you want to go like technical, define between defensive and offensive. I mean, Lawrence Taylor maybe is the best player ever. Jerry Rice maybe is the best player ever, because he's the best wide receiver ever. I mean, but football-wise, quarterback is the nucleus of a team, and Tom Brady, you don't get to 10 Super Bowls and win 7 of them for nothing. And by the way, Tom Brady should have 9 of those 10. Eli Manning somehow is the luckiest MFer of all time. Tom Brady should have 9.
Yeah, man. And I mean,
oh no, you know what?
He should have had 6 or 8. He should have 8.
10 because Tom Brady threw for over 500 yards and however many touchdowns against Nick effing Foles and still lost.
Yeah, and he still lost.
I take it back. Tom Brady should be 10 for 10 right now. So
I mean, he was so close to losing that game in Seattle. If I don't want to talk about it.
I know you don't. I know you don't.
But
by the way,
9 out of 10. We'll compromise on 9.
That was all Pete Carroll. Sorry. And by the way, I know you commented on it. Like, I am disgusted that Pete Carroll. I thought he would legitimately be close to winning Coach of the Year. The fact that he didn't get 1 vote, I mean, it's disgusting, man.
Yeah, I mean,
it's disgusting.
And I was telling my friends about this too. We were talking about the Coach of the Year. If you could get me one person who wasn't biased, saying the Seahawks are going to make the playoffs, I will give you all the credit.
They were pegged. They were pegged as going to be the worst team of the league.
Nick, I was getting poo-pooed for saying the Seahawks could win 6 games.
I mean, I get it.
Put that into perspective.
I think I was one of them. So,
yeah.
No, Pete, it is ridiculous. I mean, am I fine with Daboll winning? Absolutely.
Yes, agreed.
He had to work with a scrub. By the way, Daniel Jones is a terrible quarterback.
And he's about to get $25 million. I mean,
the fact that he got to the playoffs with Geno Smith, and by the way, I am wishing you guys and Geno Smith well for next year. But it was a miraculous that he got them to the playoffs. It's miraculous. Mm-hmm. Just wow.
I mean, I think last point here. I know you gotta go, but I think the Rams. I really don't know if they're gonna be like that team again. In the Seahawks, they got 2.
Oh, the Rams are
the Seahawks are second in that division, most likely.
Before I get out of here, the Rams are toast for years. I'm not.
We'll get it. Now that we talk about the Rams. This is like a very unique topic we can save for the next episode. So yeah. we'll go into we'll get into the Los Angeles Rams at a later date in a lot of depth because there's a lot to talk about with them, man. I mean, you're kind of right, but we'll save that for another day.
Yeah.
This has been Blindside Sports. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, follow the social medias, Instagram and TikTok, blindside_sports. Get me on Twitter, EmmettNoC04. Nick is Nick Wright. Like the stream, comment if you guys are watching later and you want to agree or disagree with me or Nick, you can hit us up on Twitter and we'll debate you or we'll agree. So stay tuned. NFL off season's heating up. NBA's, it's going to be heating up next week after the All-Star break. So there's a whole different amount of sports to talk about. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like. Turn on the post notifications so you don't miss when I go live. This has been Blindside Sports. See ya.
Later.